Tensions are higher than ever here on the Korean Peninsula with North Korea's spy satellite launch. South Korea said it decided to partially suspend the inter-Korean military tension reduction deal. And North Korea is saying that it's going to scrap it completely. For more, we're joined by our North Korean affairs correspondent, Kim Jung-sil. Welcome back, Jungsil.
Thanks for having me, Dami.
So, Jungsil, according to North Korea, the launch was a success. How is South Korea's intel agency seeing the success?
So on Thursday, at the National Assembly Intelligence Committee, the NIS, that is South Korea's National Intelligence Service, has told lawmakers that it evaluates Tuesday's North Korea's satellite launch to be successful and that it has gone into the orbit. The interesting part is that the intelligence service announced on Thursday that it acknowledged a possible Russian involvement in making the launch successful this time. The NIS gave two reasons for that. First, when the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un visited Russia in September, President Vladimir Putin officially announced that Russia will help Pyongyang build satellites. Second, the NIS said there are circumstantial signs that after the Kim-Putin summit, North Korea provided data from its satellite for the first and second attempts, and Russia gave its analysis back to Pyongyang. North Korea has tried to launch spy satellites once in May and once in August, but both times it failed.
Jungsil, according to North Korea, its satellite has already taken pictures of a U.S. military base over in Guam. How is South Korea seeing this?
While South Korean National Intelligence Service recognized the launch itself was successful and that it had entered orbit, it said the capability or ability of Pyongyang satellite is still in question. NIS said it has analyzed debris from the first attempted launch back in May and said the satellite was believed to have a lower resolution than sub-meter class satellite with significant reconnaissance capabilities. It added that unless Pyongyang releases or provides pictures of Guam that it claims it had taken, there's no way to tell the capability of the satellite.
So South Korea is saying that it's partially suspending the inter-Korean military agreement, which North is saying that it's going to terminate it completely. What is this 2018 inter-Korean military agreement?
Yes, so South Korean government has announced that it would suspend the Article 1, Clause 3 of the September 19 military agreement, as you said. It's a clause that designated the no-fly zones over the military demarcation line, or MDL. It said for fixed-wing aircraft, such as fighter jets, no-fly zones will be designated within 40 kilometers from the MDL in the east, and within 20 kilometers in the west. For rotary-wing aircraft, such as helicopters, within 10 kilometers from the MDL, and for UAVs within 15 kilometers from the MDL in the east and 10 kilometers in the west. For hot air balloons within 25 kilometers from the MDL. So all this basically means is any type of reconnaissance or surveillance activity was banned within 25 kilometers from the MDL. But with Pyongyang's third launch of the military spy satellite, the South Korean military sent UAVs for reconnaissance activities immediately from Wednesday afternoon. Recently appointed South Korean Defense Minister Shin Won-sik has reiterated from day one that the fact that South Korea is the only side abiding by the no-fly zones poses great threat to national security as it limits the military's capability to monitor North Korean provocations in real time. He added that North Korea has violated the agreement more than 3,000 times in the past 5 years.
And North Korean leader Kim Jong-un actually spoke up about the success of its first ever spy satellite. What did he say exactly?
So on November 24th, North Korea's state-run KCNA cited Kim Jong-un, who said having a military reconnaissance satellite is a, quote, right to self-defense that is irresistible and unstoppable. North Korean Defense Ministry also released a statement earlier and said it would restore all military measures it had halted under the 2018 military agreement. It said from now on, the North Korean army will never be bound by the September 19 military agreement, and that Pyongyang will withdraw all the steps taken to prevent military tension and conflict and deploy more powerful armed forces and new type military hardware in the MDL region. Take a listen to an expert regarding North Korea's statement.
또 North Korea will heavily arm itself with new weapons on land, and in the air, it will escalate tension on the Korean Peninsula by infiltrating drones or UAVs. South Korea and the US, on the other hand, are expected to mobilize US strategic assets to pressure North Korea with all kinds of political, diplomatic, and military sanctions. So the tension will rise on the Korean Peninsula in this line of inter-Korean relations of strong confrontation.
The expert added that right now both sides are hostile towards each other because they see each other as the main enemy, and that unless perceptions change, the heightened tension will continue on the Korean Peninsula. But he also stressed the importance of trying to have dialogue and communicate with the North.
All right, Jungsil, thank you so much for that coverage.
The pleasure is all mine, Dami.